Just give me liberty, or give me death.
My name is William Thomas Jr. We have a couple members of our board here from the Improvement League as well. Janelle Johnson, Henry Davis, Henry Johnson, and our longtime member Henry Johnson as well, his son in the back. Again, C.L. Townsend is a member, as well as Ione is a member of the Improvement League. All right, so again, like I said, we're a nonprofit organization. It's been operating in Plant City since 1982, founded by the late Jerry Bailey, who was an educator in Hillsborough County. We mainly focus on a number of entities such as education, economic development, and a couple of noble projects in the community are the African American Museum, the Bing Rooney House, as well as the CSI, Junior CSI Forensic Science Program. We've got middle school, high school kids enrolled in the Forensic Science Program. It's probably one of the kind in the state. These kids attend and compete in statewide.
Thank you. Maybe a follow-up question from one of our panelists or more? Do you have a follow-up question?
That's allowed.
Yeah. I have a few. Okay. Let's try the first one.
In chronological order, the first one I had was on HB17, and it's more of a clarification from my understanding. My understanding is that it will sunset the ability for local governments to create CRAs without it being approved by the state. So my understanding is that at some point that the state of Florida will have to approve a city creating a CRA.
Moving a new
exactly.
Originating one. Yes, that's my understanding as well. But to recertify the CRA, it only takes the board of the CRA, which is usually representatives, city councilmen or county commissioners. They can recertify it so long as they're in good standing. Okay. But to clarify, I'm sorry, to start a new CRA, they would have to demonstrate that there is a plan that is responsible with the taxpayers' dollar.
Did anyone else jump in on that one? Yes, sir.
Can I say that that's an example of our government? How confusing and outright ridiculous that is, that nobody can understand what's going on in this bill. That's not right for us. Government's going back and forth saying all these different things that no one can really understand, all these little clarifications. Is that their job? Let's be real with ourselves.
Thank you. One more.
Sure.
I'll take that one. Take that one. Yeah. Let's just say one of you guys, if one of you obviously is going to make it up there. The question is, let's be real with it, realistic. What kind of relationships do you have within up there? Because it doesn't take one person to make something happen. You got to have at least a substantial circle that's going to be able to push what you're fighting for. Because I've sat in that chair before running for a city commissioner, and you got to know some people there, or else, I mean, you can yell and shout what we need to do. But what really can you do if you get into this position of District 58 House Rep? Yeah, anybody. I mean, I wish all four of y'all would answer, to tell the truth.
I've been in Tallahassee for the last 4 or 5 years, specifically, or the majority of the time working on environmental policy. I have a lot of acquaintances in the legislature, but I have friends within it too, genuine friends that are mentors. And so I think that, my experience up there, the folks that I've met up there, will give me an advantage when I get there. Understanding how the process works, understanding how the dialogue and the discussion takes place. Absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to answer that. I can't say I have any friends up there in Tallahassee, but I do know all of you, and I know that I would fight for your interests, and I would do whatever I had to do. That if that means working with Democrats and Republicans to better the community, that's exactly what I'll do. I mean, it's politics. We have to work together, and I believe in that. Now, if the Republicans want to take away health care, I'm not on their team. But if they want to expand health care, let's go. If they want to improve the education budget, let's go. So I believe we need to work together to make these things happen, but you know, all of us here, I think it would be our first time in office, but I don't doubt that, you know, we would all go up there and do the best that we can to represent our community. So,
Thank you.
Well, Ahmad, I want to correct you on something. This is my first time being involved in public office. I'm working as a driver for a congressman. I'm working for a mayor. I'm working in a legislative office, so I know what the process takes when you are devoted 24/7, how you make changes and how you can create policy. Now, about your about your question, I got your response. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm American. So I know the needs of my community, of the minorities. I know how to deal with the big industry and with the small business. I know what's the agenda of the 120 state representatives, and their agenda is very important for each one. And that's the reason you, as a state representative, you have to talk to them, meet to them, and set up priorities. No bill passed if you don't have a majority. I can make it that change. Why? Because I have the experience of deal with the Department of Education. I can sit back and say something about it. Yes. I can go forward and protect education, of course. If I have allies, yes. The point is, the job of the state representative is to convince your partner that you bill is better for the community. I'm an open person and listen. Like that, I can get the message, or we can create a solution. I have experience on closing breaches. I have the experience of working with no budget and create solutions. Washington, D.C. have representatives in the government of Puerto Rico, and they can help me with their advice to help us congressmen and our senators in the state of Florida. I think if I win this seat, because I'm going to win it, my experience to all these persons ready elected in the federal, local, and state government got to give me an advantage to find solution for the district.
Thank you.
Keep on going down. So, to your point, Pastor, people see a genuine person when they see them. You know a genuine person when you see them, when you talk to them, when you get the feel of who they are. And people like to work with genuine people. No one wants to work with a shady, backstabbing individual, plain and simple. When I'm up there talking to the people, and they actually see, truly, my heart is in it. I'm one of only 120 votes. I can't have a heavy hammer. There's no doubt about it. That can be the swing and the difference. And as a third-party platform here, it can be a swing in any direction. And both parties need to acknowledge that, need to look at me, need to interact with me, and need to work with me. I've interacted with all sorts of different people, all sorts of walks of life throughout my entire life. You know, I interact with my football team differently than I interact with my calculus class. I interact differently with the CEO of Tampa International Airport, Joe Lopano, differently than I interact with the pipe fitter out in the field. But all those people have my respect, and I have their respect. Vice versa, put it that way. So when you see somebody that's truly in it, truly passionate about what's going on, and is there to support the people and is there to support your cause, if it's worthy, they're going to work with you. I understand there's going to be resistance. It's a fact, and you're right. But you can gain friends quickly when you are a genuine and honest person. Did that answer your question? All right.
Thank you. I had a few questions emailed to me, so if you will allow me to ask them.
Just give me liberty, or give me death.